This is not related to the octopus figure of the great devourer in
Uh-huh.
the collective unconscious, but it's somehow related by the
Okay.
myth in the Ragnarok, in how Fenrir became the doom of the material and the heavenly world, the physical and the higher world. So it's kind of related to how in the Eros and Logos interacted.
Yeah.
But the curious thing is that Odin asked Seer his fate, and he was told, "You will be devoured by Fenrir." And then Odin made this preconception in his mind that his fate was already set in stone. So he mistreated and cast away Fenrir, fear Fenrir beforehand, when he was only a cub in that time. Even if he was mistreated, the god of courage was the only one brave enough to feed and care for Fenrir. Still, this pup grew in size, and the gods were more scared of him, but only because of this preconception. It became a self-fulfilled prophecy of
Yeah.
your own fears. You feed your own fear, even if it's not there, even if there is no hint that is real. But that idea became your reality, the spectrum you perceive and recreate your reality. The worst part is that at the end, Fenrir did swallow up Odin, but the material world was spared among very few little things and the end of times. And I don't think this tale speaks about some kind of chronology of how things will happen. Like, you know what, you're already screwed because the end of times will come for you. No, I think it's more like a warning that if you want to prevent this from happening, don't cast away this beast. Don't fear it. Treat it with kindness, the same kindness you will treat yourself. And I think it will respond in kind, and
Hmm.
it won't turn into this great devourer that will destroy both heaven and earth. Like, that's the answer. But it starts with yourself, your own unconscious. You have to face it and recognize.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's this quote of Jung:
Mm-hmm.
whatever your fear is, there is your task. You have to deal with it, not run away, suppress it, or even kill it. You have to face it, not fully embrace it per se, because we won't ever embrace fully our own instincts because of our own reason. We have to complement each one, I believe. And then if we do this work individually and try to be there for others in a way, it will change. It won't be this collective anguish that, war, a pandemic, or whatever catastrophe it may be in the
Yeah.
collective minds of people. It's happening. Yes, it's true. People suffer. Yes, that's unfortunate, but it's also true. But are you suffering right now? Is this happening to you right now? Do you have to feel anguish about things that are not actually happening to you at this moment? You set your mindset because people in charge find it convenient for you to be afraid, and they
Yeah.
feed this great devourer. Like, they don't even know what they're doing. The consequences of this, it
Yeah.
will be the end of times in many senses if you follow that line. So it's personal. You have to think how to get out of it, not get out of the system per se, like socially. You have to work, you have to earn your day by day, of course.
Yeah.
But mentally, you have to get out of the system and recreate yourself. But it's very
Yeah.
hard because this was never told to you. Even most of our parents, I think they don't even knew this. Our
Uh,
teachers,
yeah.
many people. So it's personal, but
This-
I think we can get there.
I do think so too. I do think so too. And I really thank you for bringing this up. I do really think that it's very I don't know, like with Fenrir, like him being a wolf, I immediately had to think of instincts and kind of like fearing them. And it's kind of what I had written down in that image too. It's kind of like that's kind of what ends up happening. Certain instincts, certain things become repressed, and then it becomes this devouring monster. Even if it's like an octopus or a big wolf or whatever form it takes, it's still the same thing, and it's still there, and it's only there because it's repressed and because it's been cast into the shadow, and based on exactly like what you said, Mysterious Stranger.
Yeah, much like the how the wolves in nature have been, killed. They've all been shot, and the ecosystem in the forests are just collapsing. Like it's not great. And a few years ago, they released some wolves in Yellowstone National Park, and within a few seasons, like all of these like plants they thought were extinct started springing up, and all these other animals started coming out everywhere, and new streams of water, um, you know, popped up. Uh, like that's magic. Just by introducing one animal, the wolf,
Beautiful.
um, back into the ecosystem, life emerged from this you know monster to everybody. Oh, the scary wolf. Oh, we got to kill them all. They're gonna get our sheep. We can't let them live. Fuck the forest, and
Mm-hmm.
that ended up devouring the forest. It was like the wolf, out of that resentment, closed its mouth around the sun where the life comes from, and everything in the forest began to die. I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of similarities between that story and reality. What we're actually doing, reject not only by killing the wolf,
Mm-hmm.
is that rejecting that instinct. Look at what happened to human beings. We did the same thing. Started rejecting our instincts. A lot of these, um, I don't want to get us banned off of YouTube. Just a lot of things started happening that are against. Man, I can't really say anything without getting us in trouble. Just things changed a lot. How about that?
Yeah.
Where we're not the same as we were in the 1800s. Okay, I'll say that. Where we might have been more in line with nature, and now we're way far out into this science transcendence. What is a human being anyway? Calling everything into question, sort of deal. Yeah, I could say that.
Yeah. I don't know, but one thing I still want to bring up though about like this I guess the devourer, and in some sense, because I've noticed in like videos on the internet also that um different figures like Kali, especially Kali really, but I guess there's also like the male variant of it, which is very much not known. So I don't know if I Kal Bhairava, but he's not so much known. But you really use like Kali as an example, but There's people who think like that Kali is the symbol of this devouring feminine, where technically if you look into it and actually look at like what she really represents in like the mythology and kind of the symbolism of it all, it's basically something that she comes from Shiva, and Shiva is connected to the phallus, so it's like an eros symbol, and it comes up when it's basically like a sign of like people, like you're stuck in your head. You're only thinking your floating brain, like how you had brought up before the talk, Neirum, and you think you're only that, and she just basically comes to basically symbolically cut off the head to so you basically it's symbolism for like to get back like connected to the body, so you're not floating away into fantasy or other stuff. It's kind of like what she represents, and there's quite some people that seem to fear her and they're such type of figures, but there's like in the same sense there's a cure in that, because it's trying to like get people to be like, hey, like get back into the body, connect back to instincts, so like connect back to that, so that we take all of this energy we're pouring into this like devouring, like resentful part of the over here, where we take that back and we put it into something that's connected to, I guess, like a true form, or like a light form of whatever this dark form is. But yeah, I just thought to still bring that up regarding to the talk, and I don't know, I think it connects to like the zombie too, and like what it represents, and kind of the credit is due to for Jung to live by really on that, but that it represents like an unlived life, and that it's kind of like the repression of instinct, or like the not being connected to it due to like whatever really reason that has happened.
Yeah.
And I think that's one really big thing, and I do think like that with what Mysterious Stranger brought up with like Fenrir and the wolf connection, and also you Neirum too, and also you Gnosticnun with regarding to like the meme that you had kind of shared. I think like it all ties into that kind of like that need to like bring that back up to the light, and to and be kind to it, like you said, Mysterious Stranger.
Yeah, Kali is like a grounding, like bringing you back down to earth instead of being that floating head.
For the entire episode, please check out the description or click on the end screen. And maybe see you next time.